Call Me Soraya is a really, really incredible story. I mean, not only is it difficult and so brave to go through a transition, but to have it documented and have it documented so closely for 6 years, I think that's a huge commitment to go through all these instances and surgeries and consultations with people, and to be so young and to do it and to document it. I think that takes a lot of strength from Soraya and her family and this team, and believing in this cause, um, and finding true gender euphoria and identity, and really wanting to document that and use it as a story for hope for other trans kids. Um, I think there was a real emotional pull to this story, and I think you did a great job of capturing that through Soraya's story, and seeing her family and everyone with her, and just really bringing humanity to a community that is, still not getting the proper care that they need in so many parts of the country. So I really want to commend you for this story, and I really wish the best to the team and Soraya and her family as they continue with their journey. It was a really, really beautiful story, really, really well done.
These reviews for Call Me Soraya, there's lots of learning from this very young person that is very adamant and so decided to become different gender. All the people around them to find their personality and feel comfortable in their own body. They touch on different strategies they use to keep at bay their natural procession of growing up as one gender, especially with hormone therapy. They also showcase a testimony from parents and doctors. What it's like for her to feel lonely and left out, struggling with school, bonding with boys, and deciding on a career. All this progress through the years from her 13th birthday, and what it is for her other family members, including her sisters and her biological father back in Brazil. The whole description of surgical procedures and the video that she captures throughout the process as well, where she gives us a window on her true feelings, mostly of loneliness, despair, frustration. This is taking too long for her, but at the end of this very long process and a very long wait, we have a happy ending where she is finally who she wants, along with her changing her name as well, and all the support she got from her closest family members. It's a very nice story. Kudos to the producers.
So such a wonderful film, very ambitious to stick with Soraya here for 6 years. It takes a lot of courage and faith to take the leap to make this movie, and it takes an unbelievable amount of courage and vulnerability on the part of Soraya to allow herself to be subject to it, and her family too. Just everybody involved in this project was extremely brave, and especially Soraya, obviously. My goodness, to be so personal and to be so vulnerable to the world, it's quite extraordinary. So, but it's wonderfully made film. I mean, I can't imagine 6 years of filming it and working on. I mean, this is an unbelievable amount of hard work. This is more work than anybody ever put into any kind of Marvel movie or whatever. There's a lot of heart and soul here. It's a beautiful story. And just, congratulations and blessings to everybody involved, and blessings to Soraya and to her family. But, great job on this, folks. Just, keep up the good work. And I hope this gets out there and gets seen for you. It's really wonderful.
I think the dedication of the team, the filmmaking team, to follow somebody for 6 years is amazing in and of itself, because they chose to follow one person's story and for 6 years, and that's a long time, especially since they did it through COVID as well. It takes a lot of dedication to do this, to follow someone for that long. I know they were trying to teach that this girl's story and tell us and make us feel sympathy for her, which I do. I'm sorry that this child feels like God made a mistake. They feel like they're trapped in the wrong body. However, what I noticed is this child also thinks being a girl is the stereotypical thing, such as pink and wearing the clothes and everything. That's not really a woman. It's not really a girl. It's just what they feel based on what society tells them in the news media. It's something I've never struggled with. I think all teenagers struggle with identity a little bit, but I've never done the gender identity. I know as a woman with all girls, I don't want boys in their spaces, and I don't really care what the boy thinks he is on the inside. He still doesn't belong in a girl's space. I don't know that this child in this documentary is still going to feel happy after having the surgery either. I personally think allowing children to transition when the brain's not fully developed till 25 is child abuse. I feel bad that this child had parents and doctors that failed her. It almost makes me want to cry because she didn't have the right guidance that she needed. She's she needed help, and statistics even show after transitioning that 17% of transgenders still commit suicide. So there's a bigger issue that they're not addressing, and it's controversial to mention it. But it did bug me that the hospital she had a surgery in had a cross on it, because that means the doctors are thinking God can make a mistake too. And I can say, as a Christian woman, I don't think he does. I think it's a severe mental illness and needs to be treated as such. We need to do what we can to help these people feel happy in their bodies. But I really don't think you can fully transition until you can find happiness. And a lot of them seem not to be able to.
I absolutely loved this. I thought being able to document the journey over so many years and so many really impactful years, as you're growing up and as you're, really settling and figuring out who you are, was so amazing to really see the journey, to really have it from so many different age ranges and perspectives, and as they're growing and working towards getting this surgery, not just for her but for the whole family, what it means, and to be able to see that entire process, to see how it impacts differently in the different kind of age groups, and even with moving and everything else, that was so incredible to be able to see the entire process, to also have her kind of do these like video diary sections interspersed without all of it, and really get the full picture of what that kind of journey looks at, especially when somebody knows when they're so young and they have such a supportive family. And I thought it was amazing. I thought it was well documented. I thought it was well explained. I thought it was incredible to get to see that amount of time pass from where you started at the very beginning to where she ended was just really beautiful.
Me Saraya is a really empathetic and clear-sighted accounting of trans youth and trans existence. What I think it does really well is kind of pull you into what life is like, or what must be like as a trans person, to try to make those experiences understandable to people who have no experience with them. I don't think it shies away from all the negative aspects of this, whether that's family not quite understanding it or accepting it, being bullied at school just for being who you are, or a healthcare system that is supposed to help you but seems to harm you more than help. Really highlights just how hard it is to exist as a trans person, which is very empathetic and moving, saddening. But also, it very much explores how much better it is to embrace yourself and to live who you are, which is very uplifting and optimistic and moving in that sense. So it's very clear-sighted and well judged, well balanced, and it's really informative, and moving. It really helps to foster empathy for something that is, quite misunderstood and willingly misconstrued. And I think what I was quite impressed with was the very calm manner in which the documentary itself refutes misapprehensions and misallegations about being trans. By referring to a lot of experts who know what they're talking about, and also just sort of simply observing it and accepting the actual existence of a trans person, which I thought was really effective.
Call Me Saraya. Well, this was an excellent documentary that was full of honesty, in-depth detail, and really showed us the process of what a young person goes through when they're seeking identity gender change. I was really impressed at the maturity of Soraya, who also said that it was like missing her childhood. And now I really understand that, because I can see how not feeling like you're in the right body is carried through until you can get that sex change, which is very difficult. And Soraya had lots of support from her mother and stepfather, and had a great medical team, family doctor and psychiatrist. And I don't know that it's like that here in North America. So I can see how much different it was in Europe. And the only thing that really surprised me was the amount of bullying from school that she would receive. That was really disheartening. But it ended so well that it really gave you hope in terms of knowing that young people have this option and can get it someday.